What's up, guys? It's Demon Duo here, and today we're going to be doing What If Tanjiro Got Stain's Quirk from My Hero Academia. So, let's get right into the video. So, this story starts off with Tanjiro as a baby. His family is brutally murdered by a demon, with him being the only survivor. Luckily, a masked man wearing a weird sort of costume finds him before the police or any nosy villagers do. This man takes him to a cave and begins to nurse him back to health. Through much fighting, Tanjiro ends up surviving his fatal wounds. 10 years later, Tanjiro sits by the fire, eating the deer he and his father have just caught. As the fire crackles, Tanjiro looks up to his father. "Dad, why do you have a power no one else has? How do you paralyze the animals when the other hunters can do nothing even close to that?" Stain slowly looks down at Tanjiro. Stain's mouth starts to crack into a small smile at this boy's curiosity. He begins to explain how he's from a different world. "When I was a boy, there was a deep crack in my reality. I walked into the woods, and before I knew it, I saw a giant ravine. But this ravine was not like any other. It was a dark, deep, and black ravine. But it was also beautiful. I felt a beautiful presence coming off of it. Almost as soon as I saw it, I couldn't help but go in closer. Then suddenly, a villainous beast that we now know as a demon came out. I pulled out my sword and tried cutting it, but no matter what I did, it would not die. This demon picked me up and threw me into the ravine. I thought for sure I was dead, but I somehow ended up here. But to get to the point, in my world, everyone has a power like this. Luckily though, I'm one of the ones who can pass it on. So when you get older, you will also have a power just like me." Tanjiro's eyes start to light up upon hearing this news. "So I can be like you, Daddy?" Stain slowly smiles. "Yes. In fact, I believe you'll one day surpass me." They finished their meal by the fire, but although there were good moments like this, their life was far from perfect. Stain was a Hashira after all, and this would come back to bite his family. Just 2 years from this glorious day, Stain would be face to face with a powerful demon. Some thought the most powerful demon to ever walk the earth, besides the Demon King himself. As Tanjiro was on a hunting trip for the wild bear that was terrorizing the local village, Stain sat sleeping in his cave. Suddenly, a powerful figure appeared. Stain's senses being so good, he immediately awoke. "Show yourself!" Stain yelled. A six-eyed creature appeared. "Who are you?" Even just by seeing this figure, Stain's blood turned into ice. He knew he could not dare to fight this figure, as that would surely be the end of him. "I am Kokoshiba, and I am here to kill the Blood Hashira." "Is that you?" Stain's blood ran cold. He charged the demon immediately, his sword slicing through, or so he thought. The demon Kokoshiba began to chuckle. "How are you still standing up? I cut you!" The demon Kokoshiba responds, "Boy, you haven't cut me. You merely shredded my kimono." Stain let out a gasp and charged immediately at Kokoshiba again. In response, Kokoshiba merely pointed out his hand. Crescent moon blades. The crescent moon blades suddenly formed out of wind itself. The blades appeared in the air, immediately ripping Stain's body to shreds. Stain fell to the floor, with blood pouring out of his body. "You have lost, Hashira." Kokoshibo vanishes just as quickly as he came. Almost as soon as he disappears, Tanjiro appears. He sees Stain laying on the floor, and drops his sword to the ground. He rushes to his father. Dad, what happened? Who did this? There is no time. Come to me, boy. Tanjiro obeyed his father. What? How can I help? Stain commands Tanjiro to open his mouth. But why, Dad? Please, tell me why. Do it, boy, Stain commands. Tanjiro begrudgingly opens his mouth, and Stain lifts up his finger, dropping his blood into Tanjiro's mouth. Stain then commands Tanjiro to take a sip of his blood, telling him it will heal him. Tanjiro obeys, but sadly, it does not heal his father. Stain's eyes go wide, and he is no longer able to move. Stain's mouth muscles twitch open into a smile. You now have my ability. Tanjiro screams, No! Father! We can still save you! I can give it back! No, Tanjiro. My wounds are too deep. I will die here. In my home. I love you, boy. No, Father. Tell me who did this. I will kill them. I will avenge you. Stain lets out one last smile as his consciousness begins to fade out. Goodbye, Tanjiro. You should take my sword. No! Dad! No! Why? Why? How could you leave me like this? Now I don't even know who to kill. Tanjiro begins sobbing for a while, but soon enough, Tanjiro rushes out of his house, trying to kill any demon he could possibly find, hoping and praying it would be the one who killed his father. He is luckily able to find one. Tanjiro draws his dad's sword that he took with him as soon as he died, and immediately slices the demon in half, then swiftly chops off his head too. Tanjiro begins to sob. This couldn't possibly be the demon that killed my father. He is too weak. Tanjiro angrily throws his sword at a tree. This immediately cuts the tree into small pieces. Tanjiro puts his head down and just begins sobbing. After a while, he angrily yells, Fine! If I can't kill the demon that killed my dad, I will just kill them all! 5 years later, Tanjiro appears at Mount Fujigasuki, ready to take the test. There are some other notable people there though. A yellow-haired boy and a boy with a boar mask both stand beside him. Tanjiro is too focused on his path to notice either of them though. The selection is explained to them, and they are sent into the mountain. Immediately, Tanjiro is faced with a demon. Tanjiro swiftly executes him and runs on, just trying to find the next, wanting to kill as many as possible. Inosuke sees Tanjiro doing this and rushes to do the same, wanting to kill more than this boy. Sadly, Inosuke is no match for Tanjiro, as Tanjiro easily slays 10 times the amount of demons that Inosuke is able to slay. Suddenly, though, a huge demon, more powerful than one Tanjiro has ever seen before. Tanjiro is immediately disgusted by its stench. The hand demon focuses on Tanjiro and reaches under the ground. Tanjiro is confused by this, but suddenly he smells something from under the ground. Tanjiro jumps up in time and is barely able to jump up before the hands start coming out the ground, trying to grab him. Tanjiro slices his sword, managing to cut the demon and grabbing the blood and immediately tasting it. The demon is immediately paralyzed. What happened? Inosuke began to think while watching this battle. I was hoping that boy would die. Why? Why can't I move my body? The demon hand begins to shout. Silence. Blood breathing, form 1. Piercing stream. Tanjiro immediately blitzes the demon, cutting his head off. The demon's head falls to the floor. How? How did you do that? The demon bellows. Tanjiro scowls. Go to hell. He slices the demon's head in half immediately, making it disappear. Inosuke, coming out of the shadows, yells, How did you do that? Inosuke screams at Tanjiro as Tanjiro smirks. Didn't you hear me? Go to hell. Tanjiro punches Inosuke, sending him flying into a tree. Inosuke gets up and charges Tanjiro, but then Tanjiro simply just licks his knuckles, making Inosuke collapse to the floor. Should have minded your own business, pig. Tanjiro begins to walk away. Hey, that wasn't very nice. A young girl stands in front of Tanjiro. Apologize now! This girl, Yui, wonders if her master Mitsuru Kanroji, the love Hashira, would be proud of her standing up to this boy. Tanjiro stares at Yui and draws his sword. And guys, this is going to be the end of part 1 to What If Tanjiro Had Stain's Quirk. And I hope you guys all enjoyed. This is Demon Duo signing off, and peace out.